Famous artists like Renoir, Degas, and Toulouse-Lautrec were inspired by dancers. What inspires dancers to create their art? Sarah Sweet Robidoux is a dancer and choreographer who sometimes works with videographers to create her art. She draws inspiration for her choreography from many sources, including old photographs and movies.
I get inspiration for my dances from the small things in life. My dances are like dioramas of the little things in life.
Sarah founded the Hoi Polloi Dance Company 6 years ago. They've been performing ever since and getting great reviews from dance critics all over the country. For Sarah, ideas for dances come from places that are often very unusual.
Postcards someone might send you from somewhere, teacups, the way people wait for the bus.
In addition to photography, other forms of art inspire Sarah.
I feel like I tell stories in my dances without being literal. So when I find stories that are evocative of small things, that also inspires me.
The inspiration for Beach Blanket Buta came from some unusual sources.
Beach Blanket Buto came to me out of the fact that American surf culture and Buto, which is a modern form of Japanese expressionistic dance, came together at the same time in the world.
One critic called Beach Blanket Buta captivating. Beach Blanket Buta is captivating and surreal. Much of Sarah's work is surreal and dreamlike. Cupcake tells the story of a very strange birthday party. For Cupcake, Sarah decided to work with a videographer to create additional images. This very surreal video is projected onto the stage and dancers during the performance.
Cupcake was inspired by Ravel's opera, The Child and the Magic Spells. I decided to use video in this piece to add another layer of visual imagery.
Over the past 6 years, Sarah has worked hard to establish a reputation and get publicity for her company. Running a dance company is not easy. Sarah has faced many difficulties and has managed to be successful. Artists like Sarah often depend on grants of money from private foundations and from governments to create their art. Sometimes, an institution hires or commissions an artist to create new work.
Hoi Polloi is a small nonprofit dance company. We've been very fortunate in that people respond to our work, and we've gotten many grants in recent years for the creation and presentation of new work.
Sarah's hard work and persistence are paying off. Hoi Polloi was commissioned to create a new work. Now she's working on a new piece inspired by a poet.
We're working on a new piece right now called 24 Cakes. This work was commissioned by Crash Arts here in Boston to be performed at their showcase called Dance Straight Up. And we have been working so hard on this the last few weeks.
Many professional dancers start dancing when they are very young. But Sarah did not start as a child.
I didn't start dancing as a child. I started very late. I was an athlete and was much more interested in playing field hockey and writing stories than I was in anything else. And in college, I discovered a dance class. Someone talked me into taking it, and the choreography element seemed to me to be what I loved best in life.
The work is tiring and sometimes difficult, but Sarah finds her life incredibly fun and rewarding.
My favorite part of having a dance company is traveling and getting to perform our work for other cultures and to meet other dancers and other people all around the world.
Painters and sculptors are inspired by dancers. They try to capture their grace and even the sound of music that they are playing. A dancer is inspired by art, film, and photography. Her movements bring images to life on the stage. All of them look at the world around them and create vivid impressions that can inspire our own imaginations.
So you want to win $1 million. Who doesn't, right? Everyone has fun thinking about how they would spend all that money.
If I won $1 million, I would take a vacation around the world.
If I won $1 million, I would feed hungry children in Africa.
I would buy a Learjet and get out of here.
If I won $1 million, I would buy a cabin and live in the woods.
If I won $1 million, I would take a trip around the world, and the rest of it I would give to charities.
Winning $1 million is a nice fantasy, but for many people, their fantasy can get them in trouble. Criminals called con artists, scam artists, or frauds take advantage of people's dreams of winning it big.
My dad told my mom, don't do that because you don't know if they're going to trick you or not.
Scam artists tried to trick Maria Alon's mother out of thousands of dollars. These criminals told Maria's mother that she had won part of $1 million jackpot, but they said since she was not a U.S. citizen, she was not allowed to claim the prize. They promised to collect the prize for her if she gave them thousands of dollars.
$15,000 about 5 o'clock in the lottery Texas department. That's what they told her. And my mom said, okay, I'll be there at that time.
Police at the Dallas Lotto Claims Office say that dozens of people have been tricked out of their money in this latest fraud. Fraud is a common crime. Hoping to win millions, people make poor decisions and lose their money. But people who really do win millions can make poor decisions too. Bob Kenny works for an organization called More Than Money. More Than Money helps people who come into large amounts of money make good decisions about how to manage their unexpected wealth.
What's really important to me? My family, the health of my family, the education of my family, the long-term care of my family. These are the things that are important to me. These are the things I'm going to use my money to get in the world.
Albert Miller and Dorothy Adams, who won a whopping $40 million, had many choices to make on how to spend their new wealth.
I was finally able to afford some health insurance.
And you didn't have it before this?
No, I didn't, and I worked every day of my adult life.
That's a great decision, buying health insurance. He knows his health is important to him, his family's health is important to him, he knows his family is important to him, he knows he's important to his family. So it's a really easy decision. I have the money, I need the health insurance, I'm going to buy it.
Now Albert can afford almost anything he wants. He bought an everyday car, a top-of-the-line Infiniti.
It's low-key, it's a low-profile car for me.
His other new one is not. It's a special edition Rolls-Royce. There are fewer than 24 like this in the world, with a cognac bar, a 12-cylinder engine, and one smooth ride.
You fly a Rolls, you don't drive a Rolls, so, you just fly along.
He decided to buy one car that was practical, that he could use every day, and then he decided to buy another car that he knows is not practical, that's been a fantasy of his, that's something that in some ways he's always wanted, and having a little fun with the money while he's trying to make these decisions is a perfectly normal thing to do.
Last time we talked, you were talking diamonds. What happened?
Well, I got diamonds.
Big ones, 11 carats in all.
I think that was a very sweet thing to do. He had his fantasies, she had hers, and having diamonds is something that she always wanted.
A few weeks after the big win, the couple closed their restaurant called Bentley's. Now they have more time to travel, golf, and play on the boat Albert just bought. Still, a lot's the same. They live in the same house, in the same neighborhood where they both grew up.
We try to keep everything pretty much the same as it was before. Try not to let money change you.
Our culture wants us to believe that if we're not happy, if we had more money, we would be happy. And the research shows that that's just not true. You'll still wake up some mornings with a headache. You'll still wake up sometimes in a bad mood. You'll still have fights with your friends sometimes. It won't make all of that better. Having more money will not necessarily improve the quality of your relationships or the happiness that you actually have in your life. What money does is allow us to make more choices. And making wise choices is what will make us happy.
Despite every man's dream come true, Albert still thinks about money.
The money pressure is not there, but other pressures of having the money comes there. So, you're never totally free of something to worry about.
Albert's a pretty wise guy. He understands that the money is going to create another set of issues for him.
I still think most of us would trade our money problems for Albert's any day.
I think most of us think that the problems that we have in life would get solved if we had more money. But what I'm suggesting is that isn't necessarily so. That money gives us more choices, but it doesn't give us the blissful answer.
Finding someone to love isn't easy. For years, single people have looked for prospective mates in a few tried and true ways. They met in school, or at work, through friends or relatives, or they met by chance, in bars, at weddings, or at parties. Today, there's a new way to find that special someone. Many people have met boyfriends, girlfriends, fiancés, husbands and wives in a way that didn't exist up to about 10 years ago. The internet has completely changed the world of dating. Anyone can look for a match online at one of hundreds of different websites like these.
There are approximately 150 million singles in North America, and what's interesting is that a lot of them are trying online dating.
I've never tried internet dating.
I have friends who have tried internet dating, and one of them is getting married to the person he dated.
I have not tried internet dating, but I have a friend who has.
I have not tried internet dating.
I have tried internet dating. I had one good experience and one bad experience.
I've tried internet dating. It worked out very well.
Hi. Oh, it's good to see you. You look great.
Thank you.
Hey, I love the color.
Thank you. Come in, come in.
How does internet dating work? Carol is about to find out. She's having dinner with her daughter, who has just registered on an internet dating site.
So how's work?
Work is really good. It's busy, so I've been making money.
Good. Have you met anyone yet?
No, not yet. But I just signed up. Mom? Mom, come on, I'll show you.
To get started with internet dating, there are 4 steps. The first one is to find the service that works for you. Second step is to create your profile. Find a great picture of yourself that shows you doing something that you enjoy. Write about who you are and who you're looking for. Third step is to start searching for that special someone. Use the search function on the site to identify people in your area that you may want to hook up with. Fourth step is to reach out to those people. You write them a nice short letter, show that you're interested in them, and off it goes. After that, sit back, cross your fingers, and hope for the best.
Okay, we open the browser and we go to the website.
Okay.
Mom, sit down.
Okay.
And it's basically a search engine for a boyfriend. So I enter my criteria. I am a woman looking for a man between the ages of 24 and 32.
Okay, interesting.
And then I click search.
Okay.
And then a screen with all the candidates who meet my criteria comes up. Oh look, I've just come back from a safari and I'm looking for a little more adventure.
He's not interested in a relationship.
I'm 30 years old, but I still haven't found my dream lover. He's looking for someone who doesn't exist.
You've always stayed away from unrealistic guys. Don't start now.
I've recently broken up after 12 years of love. I'm looking for another woman just like Linda.
He hasn't gotten over Linda yet.
I've never wanted to date a guy who's still in love with someone else. I'm desperate?
No way.
No way.
Internet dating is not just for desperate people. It's become very mainstream and the stigma has gone away. It helps because we're very busy in our professional lives now, and it gives us an easy way to meet people that we normally wouldn't come across in our day-to-day lives.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Doctor. Ski, hello. Looking for someone who's funny and spontaneous.
That's you.
He likes jazz and cycling and skiing. I like to ski.
There you go.
My perfect date is dinner at a really nice restaurant followed by dancing.
Aw, come on, that's great.
What's this guy? He's cute. He's 26. He's a marketing assistant. He's looking for a woman who's confident in herself and her surroundings.
That's you.
Someone who knows how to laugh.
That's you.
My perfect date is going to a small club and hearing the latest new music. That's a good answer. Okay, outdoor guy. 24, grad student.
So he's smart.
I'm looking for a really fun woman who loves the outdoors, hiking, skiing. A good sense of humor is a must.
Again. Funny, good sense of humor.
His perfect date is a canoe trip down a river that leads to the ocean, swimming, and a picnic on the beach.
Well, you could bring the picnic part anyway.
A great profile paints a broad picture of who you are and what you like to do with your life, but does not bore the person. It's not a book, it's a brief essay. You have to reel them in the first 5 or 10 seconds, otherwise they're gonna move on to the next person.
Carol looks for someone too.
What about me?
Okay. Looking for a man between the ages of
45
to
55.
Search.
What do you think about this guy?
He's cute. He's 52.
He's looking for an attractive woman who is kind.
He likes to go sailing.
I love that. Exotic places? Come on.
What if Dad knew you were doing this right now?
Oh, shh.
We're taking a walk along this peaceful, quiet beach. Just the place to relax. But out there, at other beaches around the world, that's another story. Let's take a look. These sea lions fight to defend their territory. During the mating season, these elephant seals show aggression to establish dominance. People fight to defend their territory. In some situations, we're used to it. We even expect it. When you're on a crowded street or trying to get into a crowded bus, other people are going to start shoving. It's not always pleasant, but it's not surprising when it happens. But what about here, on this lovely beach? There's plenty of room for everyone to sit comfortably, enjoy the sun, and look at the ocean. If you were sitting right here, what would you do if someone else came and sat right in front of you?
Hello!
Let's find out. Let's see how assertive or aggressive these beachgoers are about defending their territory. Ready?
Ready.
This couple thinks they'll settle down to a nice day on the beach. They'll probably do what most people do on the beach. Maybe he'll have a cold drink. Maybe she'll read a book. Maybe they'll go swimming. Or maybe not, once Jack goes into action.
Hey, how you guys doing? Great day, isn't it?
As you can see, the couple is annoyed. Will they argue, complain, or will they just ignore him?
Hey, buddy. Hey, you're not gonna sit right there, are you? Right in front of us.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I am actually. I'm gonna sit here all day.
But there are plenty of other great places to sit on this beach.
That's true. It is a big beach with plenty of places to sit, but this is my place. I always sit here, and I'm gonna sit here now.
This is a public beach.
You're right. It is a public beach, and I'm sitting here all day.
I'm gonna take this.
Wait a minute.
You guys just...
She thinks Jack's a little crazy.
It's on my towel. Look at
Why don't we just
Hey, what
go
book is that?
over there?
The man is torn between defending his territory and having a nice day with his girlfriend. How is he going to react? Is he going to take it? Or will he put up a fight?
Look, why don't we just go over there?
Give me a drink, dude. Hey, yo, easy there, Missy. Don't have to get rough. But you can at least, wait, come back. No, let's go swimming. It's nice. Fine, I was just trying to be friendly.
Let's say you're sitting on the beach, it's not too crowded, and someone comes up and puts their stuff right in front of you. What would you do?
I'd be very angry and go over to them and tell them to move.
Maybe throw a little sand in their face and make them move. I don't know.
If someone came and sat down right in front of me on the beach, I would probably move my towel next to them and start a conversation.
Now let's take Jack out to the street. This is South Beach in Miami. Getting a parking place in this neighborhood can be really difficult. That's because there are too many cars and not enough space. And when space is limited, people can get a lot more aggressive. Our producer is parked here in this very desirable parking spot. She's going to wait until someone wants her parking space. There's a lot of traffic, so she won't have to wait too long. Yes, there's someone now.
Leaving? Yeah, I'm leaving. Oh, great.
She pulls out, and the minute she pulls out, Jack pulls in. What do you think the driver will do? Drive away? Or stop and confront Jack?
Hey, come on, pal. That's my spot, my parking spot. Oh, yeah? Didn't see you in it. Oh, looks like it's my space now. Sorry. What are you talking about, man? You saw me. I was right there. You know, have you considered anger management counseling? I was right there. What are you talking about? It's now time for the Sunny Tunes of South Florida. I was right there. You saw me. Sorry, I can't hear what you're... Great song. I love this song. Do you have a hearing problem? You scream a lot. No, you have a problem? Yeah. Ooh.
If you're waiting to pull into a parking space and someone else sneaks right into it, what would you do?
I would beat my horn, I would roll down the window, and I would shout very rude things at them.
I would yell out the window and tell them to move.
Aggression. It's part of survival. Animals and humans need to be aggressive in order to survive. But how aggressive do we need to be? When do we fight? When do we give up and walk away? Those are the decisions that we all make every day.
Gotta go, large men. See you, we'll have lunch.
Because knowing when to walk away or run away is part of survival too.
What store do you think of when you think of gadgets? If you're like a lot of us, you think of the Sharper Image. The Sharper Image has been making and selling gadgets and cool products since 1977, when company founder Richard Thalheimer came up with a waterproof, shock-resistant watch that could be used by runners. He advertised in Runner's World magazine, and a company was born. Thalheimer's goal had always been to design and sell consumer products that were technologically innovative. Today, the Sharper Image sells a wide range of innovative and useful products online, through catalogs, and in its many retail stores. Let's take a look inside. Here we are with store manager Ryan Forcier and district manager for New England, Lisa Boyven. Lisa, who makes these products? Where do they come from?
About 70% of the products that are in our stores are developed by our TSI design team, which is based out of our corporate office and which is led by our founder, Richard Thalheimer. The primary focus of this group is to get feedback from our customer base and to find out what they're looking for and develop products based on their needs.
So what is your most popular product?
This is one of our best-selling products, the Ionic Breeze. It was developed about 5 years ago by our design team, and based on customer feedback, we've had several different versions.
The Ionic Breeze is an air purifier that removes dust, pollen, animal danders, different pollutants of that nature from the air. People that suffer from asthma would benefit from the product. People that suffer from different allergies would also benefit. And people that live in polluted areas would definitely feel a benefit from the product. So, what are some other popular products? One of our most recent products on the market, and it's been very popular for us, is our Sound Soother 50. It has 50 different soothing sounds, so our customers can use that to relax or fall asleep too. And we've also added this iPod cable so that our customers can play their iPods through our speaker system. This is one of our best-selling products, the Turbo Groomer 5.0. Our male customers really love them. Is Sharper Image a store that sells mostly to men?
Not at all. We used to be. Here, for example, we have some shavers. We also have some grooming products that appeal to our female customer.
Everybody likes products that make their life easier. Our evac robotic vacuum turns on and vacuums itself.
Today we also sell toys, and we like to sell toys that appeal to both children and their parents.
Some of our other products that are very popular and fun as well are our CD Power Tower 200, which holds 200 CDs, rotates very easily like that so you can find the CD you're looking for. And we also have our DVD Power Tower, works in the same manner. This chair looks like an ordinary chair. If Lisa hadn't shown me how it worked, I never would have realized that it actually massages you as you lie back and relax.
Sharper Image started with a unique watch, which was a gadget. We still sell a lot of gadgets and a whole lot of other products. Products that are unique, innovative, make your life a lot of fun and more enjoyable.
You really like these products, I can see that. What's your favorite product?
That's a tough question, but there's one I really love. Would you like to see it?
Sure.
These are our wireless speakers. They're great. You can plug them into any audio source in your house or wherever you may be, and you can carry them around up to 150 feet away. My husband loves them because he likes to take them outside and do yard work and listen to sports, and I love to take them outside on the deck and listen to music.
Now Ryan, let me ask you, what's your favorite product? Well, it's really tough to pick one. If I had to choose right now, I would say it's probably our Amphibicar. It's awesome because you can use it on dry land or in the water. Lisa, Ryan, you both seem to really enjoy your jobs here. Now, how did you both get started at the Sharper Image? Well, actually, I'd worked in clothing retail for quite a few years, and about 3 years ago, I was looking for a change, something a little more exciting, and luckily I ended up here at the Sharper Image. Lisa?
Similar to Ryan, I had always worked selling clothes, and I wanted a change. I went on the website for Sharper Image, and I noticed that there was a position for the district manager in this area, and I had always loved the company and the products that they sold, so I applied, and luckily I got the job.
Lisa, Ryan, thank you for showing us around the Sharper Image. Well, it's obviously a fun place to shop, and apparently it's a fun place to work as well. Thank you very much.
Imagine our earliest ancestors telling stories around the fire. In ancient times, storytellers carried with them the knowledge of a society's past. They brought news about what was going on in the present, and they related stories about the great heroes and leaders of their cultures. And at all times in human history, from the ancient past up until the present, mischievous storytellers have created fantastic tales simply to trick people into believing they're true. When the story is told, someone who believes it tells it to a friend, fully convinced that it actually happened. And the story spreads and spreads.
A woman my friend knows had a baby who went blind after he got sunscreen in his eyes.
That's
terrible. Oh, the poor baby.
A man in our town died after he'd eaten bananas that contained a deadly bacteria.
Deadly bacteria? No!
All of these stories sound bizarre and terrifying, yet none of them is true. They are all urban legends, stories that are told to trick people into believing that they are true. Urban legends are a type of hoax. Hoaxes are elaborate tricks designed to fool people. A hoax may employ objects or pictures to make the story more believable. Probably the most famous scientific hoax was started by a man in England. He altered a number of bones and fossils and then buried them. Charles Dawson found them and claimed to have found the missing link, a fossil that proved that humans descended from apes. These fossils were called Piltdown Man. For 40 years, many people believed Piltdown Man really was the missing link. But in the end, scientists determined that the Piltdown Man had been created, using the skulls of medieval humans, the jaw of an orangutan, the tooth of a hippopotamus, and the canine tooth of an early chimpanzee. It's still not certain who created Piltdown Man, but it was one of the most famous hoaxes ever. Would you believe in Piltdown Man? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see how good you are at detecting the truth. I'm going to tell you two stories. One story is based on a famous hoax. The other actually happened. After watching both stories, you decide which one is true. Ready? Story number 1, gravity reduction.
This has been an Aeronautics and Space Report presented by NASA.
Scientists at NASA predicted that Neptune would pass in front of Uranus. Using Einstein's theory of relativity, they determined that when the planets were aligned in this way, the pull on the Earth would be powerful enough to diminish the force of gravity. They predicted that if you jumped in the air at that moment, you would feel as if you were floating. Now, are you ready for story number 2? Noah's Ark found. Everyone knows the story of Noah's Ark. In fact, 3 of the major world religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, all share the story that the world was destroyed by a flood. Only Noah and those aboard the ark were saved when they landed on top of Mount Ararat in Turkey. But did it really happen? New satellite pictures of the mountain show an object. It is believed to be the remains of Noah's Ark. Which story is true? Our gravity reduction story is based on a famous hoax. On April Fool's Day, 1976, British astronomer and children's book author Patrick Moore announced on the radio that the planet Pluto would pass behind Jupiter. Many listeners called in and actually claimed to have floated around the room. During a remarkably warm winter, snow on the top of Mount Ararat in Turkey melted. For the first time, satellites were able to record images of an object that had previously been buried under the snow. These satellite images do, in fact, reveal a mysterious large object, which may or may not be Noah's Ark. Stories of the fantastic, the improbable, the bizarre. We love to hear them, we love to tell them, and we want to believe them. And that's why some of us love to make them up.
Graduation. What a day. Your life is about to begin. And then your parents say,
"Get a job."
I'll tell you, looking for your first job out of college can be pretty hard. Reading all the job listings is so annoying. Even trying to figure out what the actual job is can be difficult. Searching through the want ads can be so boring. And writing your resume is really hard work.
I don't have
left that day open. Getting a job interview and then going on it, the whole process is pretty tough.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Have a seat. I have your resume here, and you're interested in the assistant's position.
Yeah, I am.
Well, the right candidate for this job has to be very outgoing and sociable. After all, it is a sales position.
Well, I'm a real extrovert, definitely.
And the right candidate has to have great self-confidence. Customers need to feel that you know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm really self-confident. I know what I'm talking about, and I think I can project that.
So what skills would you bring to this job?
Well, I realize that I'm completely overqualified for the position. I mean, in my last job, I was running the whole place.
Oh, so you've supervised people.
Yep, 5 of them. So obviously I could do this job no problem. I also have really good computer skills. What else do you want to know about me? Even though I was trying really hard, even though I had sent out about 300 resumes, even though I asked all my friends and relatives if they knew of anything, I wasn't getting anywhere. Despite all my best efforts, I was still unemployed.
Please, why don't you see a career counselor? I'll pay for it. Anything to help you get a job.
Samantha, I'm Phyllis Stein. Welcome.
So I figured, heck, why not? I met with Phyllis Stein, a professional job coach.
Interviewing is vital to getting the job that you want.
She showed me how to prepare for an interview by doing research on the position and the company. And later, she coached me on my interviewing skills.
I am going to pretend to be your interviewer, and then we'll stop it and replay it and look at the video and see what we could learn from that. Okay? I don't think that you should go into an interview having not practiced with some of the questions that are pretty standard. Tell me about yourself.
Oh, my parents, my mom is a social worker, and my dad is an engineer.
Your preparation is really important. What do you know about our organization?
Well, I saw on the internet that you do business publishing, right?
There's a whole range of things that have to do with how you present yourself. Why should I hire you?
Oh, well, I'm a really outgoing person, and I like people a lot. I'm responsible and nice.
You need to think about what the interviewer is actually looking for. Samantha, what was a major problem that you've encountered, and how did you solve it?
I haven't really had any problems to deal with.
Thank you. Now let's look at your mock interview on videotape. I think it boils down to preparation, presentation, and understanding what the interviewer is looking for. Tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Samantha Green, and I grew up in Cambridge, and I went to Boston College.
Another way of answering it is not telling about yourself, but telling about yourself in relationship to the job. So they don't care so much about your parents and that you want to live in Cambridge. They may need you to be able to be a troubleshooter. You use some examples in your life from being a troubleshooter.
I haven't really had any problems to deal with.
One of the things that someone who is an assistant in a trade show is doing is dealing with problems. You need to be sure that you stay sort of on target with presenting yourself in the strongest possible way.
This time, I felt a lot more confident when I went in for the interview. I've developed strong communication skills. In college, I worked on the school paper, and I've brought some writing samples to show you. I also worked every summer at a bed and breakfast. I worked a lot with our guests. I booked reservations over the phone, got them what they needed, and handled any complaints. Well, I feel like I did really well. We'll see.
Making a good first impression is the most important part of a job interview.
Arriving on time and being confident are the most important parts of a job interview.
It's very important that you are being confident and you're being clear in your answers and listening carefully.
Not fidgeting, and being confident are the most important things in a job interview.
Writing a thank you note is the most important thing you want to do after a job interview.
And go in there with a firm handshake.
Is the talent ready?
It's exciting.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh, here's a story about a girl who's always right.
Oh, you're good. You got
I
me.
am.
Except you're wrong.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yes, I am.
No, I am always right.
You're wrong. You're
I am
wrong.
always right.
I'm always right.
I am always right. Wrong. Right.
Roll the open with music.
Rolling.
Welcome to I'm Always Right. Today's topic, the Olympics.
There have always been lots of great sports in the Olympics, and that's because there are so many kinds of athletes. Some athletes like to ski really fast and do tricks in midair,
Others like to run really fast.
while some like to try and swim faster than any other human.
And others want to wear fancy costumes and perform on ice in front of cameras, judges, and cheering fans.
Many of these sports have been around a long time.
Some events from that first Olympics held in ancient Greece are still with us today. There's wrestling, the oldest competitive sport of all. Wrestling dates back to the original Olympics, which were held in ancient Greece.
Track events like sprinting and distance running also date back to ancient Greece.
You know, the modern Olympics began over 100 years ago in 1896. Swimming and cycling events were both held at that Olympics and have been in every Olympics since. Other sports were introduced later. For example, skiing became an Olympic event in 1924, and Taekwondo is one of the newest. It came along in the year 2000. Then there are other sports that were once on the Olympic program, but for one reason or other, aren't anymore. There's Lisa's favorite, the tug of war. That's no longer played.
While Dan's favorite, the thrilling spectator sport of cricket, has also been removed.
Also gone, golf, rugby, lacrosse, water skiing, croquet.
And don't forget the underwater swim and the 200-meter obstacle swim.
The 200-meter obstacle swim was an Olympic event?
Yes, it really was.
Maybe they should bring it back. I want to see that one.
Maybe they should. The fact is, over time, sports change, audiences change, and the Olympics change too. Today's Olympics program consists of 35 sports and nearly 400 events. So why not more?
We went out to ask people everywhere, what do you think should be a new Olympic sport? What sport do you want to watch? Here's what some of you said.
One of the best sports to watch I like is soccer.
I like to watch soccer and basketball.
I like to watch football and baseball.
I like to watch hockey, football, and basketball.
And track and field.
I like to watch basketball and swim meets.
I like to watch table tennis.
I like to watch tennis and golf.
Today, Lisa and I are each going to nominate a sport that we think should be in the Olympics. Then you decide which would make a better Olympic sport. Lisa?
I nominate dancing.
Dancing? Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. Dancing, more specifically ballroom dancing, or dance sport as it is called, burns as many calories as running. Dancing requires practice, coordination, and endurance. If ice dancing is an event, then why not ballroom dancing? In my opinion, ballroom dancing should be an Olympic event.
I'd rather watch the grass grow than watch people ballroom dance. No one wants to watch people dance.
You are wrong. 98% of people in a survey said they would like to see it. In fact, in 1997, ballroom dancing was recognized by the Olympic Committee as a sport. Your turn.
I think surfing should be an Olympic event.
Surfing?
Yes, it's physically demanding, it requires coordination and balance, it's exciting to watch, you have to admit that, and it's unpredictable.
But surfing requires big waves. If surfing were an Olympic event, the Summer Olympics could only be held in cities that have big waves. That's not fair. Cities that aren't near the ocean could never have the Olympics.
But many cities are near the ocean. Or the surfing event could be held separately, at a different location. I think surfing should be an Olympic event.
I think ballroom dancing should be an Olympic event.
Should not.
Should too.
No way.
All right, all right.
What do you think?
For years, IQ tests were the most important measure of intelligence. IQ determined where you were placed in class and admission to most private institutions. IQ defined the expectations that teachers and parents had for you.
When ideas are deeply ensconced in the society, they're very hard to change. And even people who find my ideas very appealing, often if you scratch them, deep down they think that certain kids are smart and certain kids are dumb and there's nothing you can do about it.
Howard Gardner believed that there was a better way to teach and a better way to learn. In 1983, Howard Gardner published a book called Frames of Mind, in which he proposed that there are different kinds of intelligence. His theory of multiple intelligence revolutionized the way educators looked at intelligence. Educators began to think it's not how smart you are, but how you are smart. They began to identify strengths in every child and use those strengths to help the child learn in every area. Today, educators look at 9 intelligences, but Gardner first proposed 7: verbal or linguistic, logical, mathematical,
Are we going around it or filling the whole pumpkin up? Seeds.
bodily, kinesthetic, spatial,
Inside the legs.
musical, interpersonal intelligence, that is the ability to understand and relate to others socially,
Or do you want to see the birds? Okay, let's see the birds.
and intrapersonal, the ability to understand oneself.
Intrapersonal intelligence, I think, is probably, in the future, the most important intelligence of all. It's having a good understanding of yourself, who you are, what your strengths are, what you want to accomplish. You can have an IQ of 200, but if you don't have a high understanding of yourself, you're likely to make very bad decisions about what to do, who to live with, where to live, and so on, and by the time you've been straightened out, it's all over.
Good morning. How are you guys?
The Atrium School in Watertown is a school that applies Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence by building a community of learners. That is, a school where everyone learns from each other. To do this, they help children increase their self-awareness, which Gardner called intrapersonal intelligence.
So much of kindergarten is working on the social aspect of it and also getting to know themselves and their body and how it works and their image of themselves.
They work with their students to help them set goals.
What's something
To learn how to read.
To learn how to read? That's a hard one. I think it's difficult at first for them to understand what a goal is, because to them, initially a goal is like a goal in soccer
you should
or
trust that you know what
getting a point. We keep reminding them throughout the year, like, oh, isn't this one of your goals? And when they achieve part of their goal, it's such an amazing feeling because it's something written in paper. It's like, I wrote this down as something I wanted to work on, and now look, I'm doing it.
Interpersonal intelligence is the ability to understand what motivates other people.
In many societies, that would have been considered totally obvious, but in our society, it's understanding tools and mathematics that we think of as being smart, and while we may value if people have an understanding of others or of themselves, it's not the sort of thing we want to call an intelligence. But as far as I'm concerned, it equally qualifies with language and logic as a very, very important way in which human beings survive and accomplish things.
The big ones from before, they'll say.
At the Atrium, interpersonal skills are developed from the first day of school.
We're going to write down your hopes and goals for kindergarten, what you hope to learn. One of them is friendship goals. What do you think might be on a friendship goal? Matthew?
You have to be good to friends. To be good to them.
Good to your friends.
And don't hurt their feelings.
Don't hurt their feelings.
Nice.
Maggie?
Treat them the way you would like to be treated yourself.
The Atrium applies Gardner's theories through theme-based learning. A theme, for example, rivers, becomes the basis for a curriculum.
Story is a powerful way for people to make sense of the world, and the theme becomes their way of holding together their learning from a particular year that they then carry with them.
These berries right here were used by Indians to do what? River is a metaphor.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's wonderful songs, there's great literature, there's mythology. It integrates beautifully into our science project.
Across the river, my home's across the river, my home's across the river, my home's across the water.
It's absolutely the case that almost everything in the real world involves blends of intelligences, and we almost never see an intelligence at work in isolation. In fact, we should really be focusing on how people put their intelligences together to do productive kinds of things.
And every one of us possesses a combination of intelligences, a blend of talents within ourselves. And so we also have the opportunity to grow and accomplish so many things.
It's very difficult for somebody living in the United States to grasp the fact that if sea level rises just a few feet, a whole nation will disappear.
We are like the warning system for the whole world to see.
The island of Bickerman has completely disappeared. This islander returned to the site where the island had been.
It is now lost, as you can see, as you stand on it. It is sand and rock.
Thousands of islands are scattered across the Pacific Ocean. 7 million people, nearly 1,000 languages and cultures thrive here in some of the smallest nations in the world. These islands and all who live on them or near them are facing the threat of global warming. Global warming begins with the greenhouse effect. The Earth is warmed by the blanket of the atmosphere, which is made up of carbon dioxide and other gases. The atmosphere traps heat from the sun's energy. The greenhouse effect makes life on Earth possible. But since the start of the Industrial Revolution, human beings have been burning large amounts of fossil fuels. When fossil fuels are burned, carbon dioxide and chemicals accumulate in the atmosphere. This accumulation causes the atmosphere to thicken. As the atmosphere becomes thicker, the global climate becomes warmer and warmer. This is the process of global warming. Over the last century, global temperatures have risen 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists predict that levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will double by the year 2100. The rising temperatures are causing the polar ice cap to melt. When this ice melts, the sea levels rise. Rising temperatures can also disrupt our complex atmosphere, causing an increase in the number of storms. Pacific Islanders are already seeing the changes.
I'm a climatologist. My area of expertise and interest lies within the Pacific. When you grow up in an area where it's so climate dependent and weather dependent, you notice things so easily in your environment. There's something definitely happening. We feel the trend of tropical cyclone and hurricanes on the increase.
Global warming has caused a rise in ocean temperatures. Here, off the coast of Samoa, the water warmed to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, or 32 degrees Celsius, for months. Coral can't live in water that is that warm. The coral died. Coral reefs are natural barriers that protect the islands from storms. Without the protection of the reefs, the island can be washed away. Northwest of Samoa, on the equator, lies Kiribati. This nation of tiny islands is only a few feet above sea level.
Here in Kiribati, we believe that there's a recipe, a secret formula, and a secret recipe for human peace and human happiness. To us, we see happiness as a product of being able to be part of a community, of a collection of people.
The rising ocean threatens the groundwater and crops of the islands.
Whenever the water rises, by a few centimeters, that is enough to destroy many acres of a crop area. If the crops are destroyed, they will have to be relocated. That will disrupt the culture. We will lose the human values even before we start losing the islands. The human values that are being nurtured in the culture will be lost.
That is Bigger Man. And that sandbar there is where the island was.
The Pacific Islands are a warning system to the rest of the world. And although much attention has been given, several summits have been held, many books have been written, and many speeches made, the world has a long way to go before levels of carbon dioxide are reduced enough to stop the effects of global warming.
I saw Robin Williams come to the patio. I made the run, jumped a couple sawhorses, climbed up a stairway, got in front of him and said, "Robin, do you mind if I take a picture?" He goes, "After all that, how could I stop you?"
Keith Sykes has a long career in journalism, photography, and communications.
I've taken pictures of a lot of celebrities, Cindy Crawford. I've taken her picture a few times, and I think it's impossible to take a bad picture of her. James Garner. I've photographed famous politicians. I stood in the same position for 2 hours to get this picture. Photographing these people was an exciting thing for me. When I moved to Los Angeles in 1979 to become editor of a weekly newspaper out there, I was really excited when I started getting these invitations to come to this award show or this benefit show. I was showing up at all these events and seeing people that I had seen on the screen, and it was really a magical moment for me. The word paparazzi means the pest in Italian. Fellini dubbed a character who played a pesky photographer in La Dolce Vita paparazzo. The roots of paparazzi photography were in Europe after World War II. The countries were all subject to many political factions who were deciding what direction their countries would go. This created awesome political rivalries, and photographers would cover political events knowing that they would probably turn into violent protests and they'd get newsworthy pictures and be able to sell them. Now, at the same time, more and more celebrities were going to the Mediterranean, to Monte Carlo. And these photographers who had started as political photographers took pictures of the celebrities and those celebrities' wildlife. There are financial rewards. If I got a photograph of Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt holding hands, then I'd be paid maybe $10,000. If I shot Jennifer and Brad throwing drinks at each other, I would get $50,000. How much a photograph is worth is often determined by how negative it portrays that celebrity. When Princess Diana died, I started thinking, I had realized that the business had gone bad, that it was being motivated by money, that it was creating not artists or even well-meaning photographers who wanted to pursue this craft, but rather really bounty hunters. I decided to use the small college town of Northampton and go up there every Saturday night. And I put on the full uniform, photo vest, and press IDs, and I would lurk in doorways and follow people and jump out in front of them and take their picture. I, walked up with my camera behind me and then just pulled it out and shot it with the flash. We wanted to know what it felt like as an everyday person. How do you like the idea that someone can take pictures of you on the street? And almost universally, people feel you shouldn't have the right to invade their privacy. I think as consumers of the media, we at least have to look at ourselves occasionally and evaluate what it is we're consuming, because whatever we're consuming, we're encouraging to spread.
Thank you for a great game. Welcome to Virtual Hollywood, the game show where we take you and you take us to famous cities and their landmarks. I'm your quizmaster, and today our contestants will be navigating through Hollywood, California, to answer questions and to find the answer to clues. At the end of our game, one of our contestants will have won the grand prize and the chance to come back. The other will go home. Our returning champion, Isabel, gets the first clue. Here we go. Isabel, for $100. Okay, you're at Paramount Studios. If you want to visit Hollywood's most romantic silent star, he'll be here for you forever.
Okay, that's a left on Melrose, a right on Gower, right on Santa Monica. That has to be Rudolph Valentino. He's buried in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Very good. Your time on that was 10 seconds. Wow, and you now have $100. Now on to our challenger, Dennis. Dennis, here's your first clue. When you get to the music capital of Hollywood, you'll be standing in front of a stack of records.
That's the Capitol Records building. I know that. It's on Vine, but which way? I think I should go left. That's left on Bronson, left on Sunset. Hey, there's the Hollywood sign. Oh, this is the wrong way. I think I should go this way. Here we are.
Nice job, Dennis, but that wrong turn cost you some time. You earned $50. Isabel's in the lead, and it's her turn. If you're looking for the stars and you think they can't be found, don't look up at the sky. You'll find them on the ground.
That's a left on Vine, right on Hollywood. Has to be the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The stars are all over the ground, look!
Yes, Isabel, that was an easy one. You now have $200. Ready, Dennis? When you get to this theater, you'll be able to find the stars outside.
It must be the Chinese theater. The stars' footprints are outside the theater. It's just down the street.
Good job, Dennis. You now have $150. Isabel, this is a visual clue. Julia Roberts has one of these. Where can you go to get one too?
What is that? It could be a piece of jewelry, a painting, it could be a sculpture. All right. There's sculptures in here. What the heck was that? Those elephants are huge.
Isabel, I'm going to give you a hint. It's not a sculpture. If you want to find it, you must get out of the Babylon courtyard.
Okay, I'll go down Hollywood Boulevard. There's the Chateau Marmont. Julia Roberts goes there sometimes. Who knows? If she's in the lobby, maybe she can tell me what I need to know.
Isabel, sorry, but you've run out of time. Here on Hollywood Quizmaster, when you run out of time, your opponent gets a chance to pick up some of your points. Dennis now has 5 seconds to earn $50.
I know what that is. That symbol is a tattoo, and here's where you can get one.
Yes, Dennis, you're right. You earn $50, and that gives you $200. You're tied with Isabel, and it's your turn. Dennis, here's your question. If you're hungry and you'd like a bite, look for the dog. It's on your right.
A dog? A dog's not a landmark. A dog is a pet. A dog could be anywhere. This question doesn't make sense.
Dennis, those are the rules. You lose valuable time and money if you don't get moving.
Oh, of course. The tale of the pup. A pup is a puppy, a baby dog, that's left on San Vicente. I should have known. This is one of Hollywood's most famous landmarks.
You lost a lot of time there, but you still got the answer, so you get $50. Isabel, are you ready for your next clue?
Yes, I am.
If you want to hear some music where all the stars hang out, keep slithering down Sunset.
Slithering. Okay, slithering like a snake. Viper's a snake. All right, turn right on Sunset. This is the Viper Room. Lots of stars hang out here. This place was owned by Johnny Depp, but I think he sold it in 2004.
That's right. And now, Isabel, you have $300 to Dennis's $250. Dennis, your turn. If you want to see a mansion that you've probably seen before, this is the place to go. You can drive up to the door.
Greystone Mansion. That's gotta be it. It's in lots of movies. I think today it's a park. I know it's in this neighborhood somewhere. Yes, there it is. Ghostbusters and The Bodyguard were filmed here.
That's right, Dennis. And you've just earned $100. You are at $350 to Isabel's $300. So, Isabel, here is your next clue. Visit the Star Jewelers if you need to borrow diamonds for the Academy Awards.
All right, this jeweler has to be here on Rodeo Drive. There it is, Harry Winston. He lends to really big stars like Renee Zellweger and Halle Berry. Sharon Stone once borrowed a $400,000 necklace and insisted it was a gift.
You're right. And you've earned $100, bringing your score to $400. And that means we're out of time. So, Isabel, you are still our champion. Thank you, Dennis, for a great game. And if you want to see more fabulous shots of Tinseltown, tune in tomorrow for more Virtual Hollywood.